Monetization is the subject for all startups. So I found somebody who will give me some more detailed information about monetization. Kate, you are from AdPepper. What is AdPepper?
AdPepper is a classical online marketing company. We're the middle point between the sale of advertising on websites and the websites themselves. So we take a commission and generate money for the websites. And my job in this company is to look after our complete product portfolio, our website portfolio in Germany, make sure that all the websites that I have a contract with are happy and earning enough money, and making sure that we have attractive objects that our sales team can sell.
Which kind of publisher are interesting for you?
It quite often depends on the target group. Usually we like to... there are certain standard ad formats which are important to have in order to be included in the most media plans. That's an MPU, a 300 by 250 content ad, a leaderboard, 728 wide by 90 high, which is also called a super banner, or a skyscraper, and the combinations of these things. They're fairly boring, however. I mean, most ads that are delivered on these ad formats are standards that you'd find all over the web, or parts of a standard media package. The most interesting and lucrative ad formats are the special ad formats where our sales guys have to do a lot of talking to get the media agencies interested. And for that, a website needs a certain amount of users on the site, so that the effort that's involved in generating a non-standard ad is worth it. And that amount is, I'm still learning, but I think at the moment we take new websites on at a level of around about 500,000 unique users per month, independently of how many page impressions those users generate. Because the advertisers are keen on reaching people, not necessarily the amount of clicks.
So what do you think for startups, advertising, is that really something interesting as a business model?
I think advertising needs to be, as a classical advertising certainly needs to be taken into account, and is certainly something that startups can earn money with. At the beginning it's probably more interesting, or probably more lucrative and successful for a website, for a startup to do it themselves, to get someone who they have on a freelance basis, who really goes out and talks to individual cooperation partners, makes individual custom-made deals, sells them on a fixed price over a few months, until the user base starts really getting up to interesting numbers. When you get around to, I don't know, 250,000, 500,000 unique users on the site, and have an interesting target group, by that I mean users who obviously have a bit of money to spend, aren't completely stupid. For example, a job website is fairly difficult to market because most media planners assume that the people on the website are jobless, at home, feeling depressed and don't have any money. So it's something, it doesn't really matter, or it's a sad fact that a website can be interesting as anything, but if the media planners don't think so, you're not going to make the money.
Yeah. And which kind of target groups are right now the most interesting one for the media planners?
As I say, people who are active on the web, who obviously have a good education and have money. The trend at the moment is very much women, young women, women between, I don't know, up to the age of around 40. So cosmetic websites, websites to do with fashion, all that sort of stuff. We can obviously reach women or mums with small children, are very much in demand. It all depends on the advertiser. It's hard to reach target groups are just mothers, for example, and so the way you reach mothers is to advertise on a website with children, with young enough children that the children aren't going to be on the website by themselves. So you can assume that the mothers are going to be on the website too. Other than that, students is relatively less interesting than, I don't know, business people. B2Bs are also very lucrative business.
And looking backwards, yeah, how did we advertising market develop?
In what way?
Meaning, for example, also the structure, or as I'm looking at it, I have the feeling that you can every month earn less and less through advertising. That's my very subjective opinion. So, what is your opinion about it?
Well, I think at the beginning of the internet hype, there were a lot of websites and a lot of standard ad positions, and people were selling advertisements as though they were in a print magazine. So you had the only model that existed was a 1,000 contact price, a CPM, and these CPMs are relatively high. The great thing and the worst thing about the internet is how exactly you can measure things. So whereas in a print magazine you have no idea when you place your ad how often that magazine's going to be sitting on a coffee table, open at the ad page, and how many people are going to walk by and see it, let alone go into the shop. On the online, on a website, for example, it's completely the opposite. You see so exactly how many people have actually clicked on the ad, which is a sign of extreme interest. You don't see at all how many people have just looked at the ad and thought, oh, that's nice, had a positive experience. And this level of exactness means that the prices of people, it's easier to play off sites against one another, and it's also very easy to negotiate downwards because you just say, 0.03 is less good than 0.05 click rate on an ad, so I'm going to pay less for it. So the CPM model, I agree, is decreasing for standard ad formats. Where money is in performance-based advertising, where the advertiser takes a lot less of the risk. So the platform, the website, or in our case, the representation agency takes the risk themselves. For example, if you wanted to sell a whole load of T-shirts, then you'd either, in the old days, you would have had an ad showing how nice your T-shirts are, and you'd pay by 1,000 contact price. And today you'll say, my T-shirt's worth 10 euros, and so I'll buy leads, I'll give you a commission website for 2 euros per T-shirt. And this is where the big growth is happening. There's still money to be made in branding, generally with interesting, unusual, very individual concepts. And for that you need a website with a real brand, where the customer feels like they want a brand transfer. Yeah.
So to summarize this, you would say for even if the advertising market changed, there are still some great opportunities for generating business out of it.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a matter of, as the industry is not more than about 10 years old, it's something where everyone is learning and it changes very rapidly. There's certainly a lot of money to be made. I think we're getting more clever about it.
Okay, and yeah, just for finishing, do you have an advice for publisher startups who are thinking about advertising as a monetization model for the website? Do you have an advice for them?
I can maybe give a couple of tips of things which might not be a good idea. If one has a new website with a big community part, communities are generally pretty unattractive for media planners, for standard ads. There are certain sponsorship things that you can skin a community, for example, and brand it in a way that the advertiser appears as a sponsor. Also, logout pages are very much asked for at the moment, and video ads where there is video content on the site, and the advertiser can place a pre-roll, 10 or 20 seconds of video in front of the video ad. What I do is be very careful about where I place the ads on the site, always above the fold, so where, it's just things that media planners ask for and expect. I'd put one or at least 2 out of the 3 standard ad forms on the site, an MPU, a leaderboard, or a skyscraper, and I'd be very flexible. And what I'd really do is go out and I'd register myself with affiliate networks, try and keep a close eye on what's happening myself and learn and understand what works well and what doesn't work well. And I would try and get someone on my side who can go out and bring in custom-made, really individual sponsorship solutions. And I think that's probably the best way to make money at the beginning.
Okay. Thank you, Kate, for the insights and for the advices.
My pleasure.